I'm.
We're here to tell you not to brush aside the little vloggers, so give us a chance, a little bit of love. Who knows, we may even surprise you.
Good evening and welcome everyone to the FVP. Let's have a look. We've got a few comments in. I'm just going to go around the squares first of all and introduce everyone to us. We've got Daniel to my left, who is 18 Dapper.
Good evening.
Doncaster Rovers. We've got Matthew, who's Loudmouth Barnet FC, BFC.
Evening.
Underneath him, we've got Jake, who is Punk Chef 41.
How we all doing?
Next to him, we've got a new guest in, Gogsy99, who's a Motherwell fan. You might not be able to understand him. We may need an interpreter for him, but some people may have to get him.
We've started already.
And also, we've got Ben Vlogs underneath. So let's have a look. We've got a fan in already of Gogsy. Saying Sheriff 1-2, saying no Gogsy, no party.
I prefer to
right?
off that. Who's Gorgsy?
Yeah, Jake, who is he? Go on, then tell us all about it. Your first time, tell us all about your channel, Gogsy.
Well, basically, I'm a Scottish YouTuber. Got about 8,500 subscribers. I'm a Motherwell fan. I go home and away, friendlies, wherever it is, Motherwell play, I'll go. There it is. It started already. I also do Scotland content as well. And basically, anything the Scottish football teams do in Europe as well, I'll cover it. So, yeah, that's just a wee rundown of what I do.
Right. We'll go to 18 Dapper, to Daniel. Tell us all about Donny Rovers, who've got off to a great start, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, very good start. 7 points in 9. All the new boys gelling together very nicely, and we look like one of the dark horses. Didn't have us anywhere near where we'd be, but the performances we've put in over the last couple of games, fantastic to watch. It's just a shame that we're watching them on iFollow and not in the grounds, but fingers crossed that changes soon.
Yeah, it's all looking very good, isn't it? But it's a shame you can't go to the matches. As Matthew, we've not started yet, have we? Non-league for you, but you had a friendly, did you, on Saturday?
Yeah, the wheels have come off again, lads. We're fucked. Similar to that. We might as well just fold now and just go, sod it. What's the point? Just give up, lads. We lost to a Conference South side. I've had enough. I'm gonna go move to Scotland and carry on supporting Hearts. So I'm gonna go vlogging Hearts now for them. Sod it. I'm done.
Right, great. Punk Chef, are you feeling any happier tonight?
Not really. No.
Not really. No.
When you outplay a team in the first half and then they get a rollicking in the second half and go 2 easy goals, and we need to get as many points as possible because we're on -8. We need 6 wins to get to 0.
Oh my
So
God.
it's going to be a very, very hard season for us and a very long season, especially where there's a section of the fans saying that Monk needs to go. And
already?
Yeah, we're like
they're in the Dore camp, are they? They're in the Dore camp. Manager's got to go already. Oh my God! And you were slagging him off for last week, saying all this. So your fans are on the same thing.
Yep.
In fact, Corey Hansford's actually saying when we get him on, he said he'd be about 15 minutes. He said an East Midlands derby in League One for Dore and Lisa. That could be right. Derby got smashed, didn't they, on the weekend? Nottingham Forest looked woeful. So we'll be giving some stick to Dore later. But we'll move on to Ben Cod's Vlogs, who's obviously a lot happier because Fleetwood got a great win.
No,
did they?
Are you actually taking the mic? Oh. No, mate.
I believe it wasn't good.
I'm not going to leave. I'm going to leave. No. First of all, I'd just like to say
Sheffield Wednesday fans, right? If they want Monk out, I never realised Dore changed teams in a month and already wants a manager out. No, but again, a disappointing result. Wimbledon are good at what they do. They will come, they'll get a goal, and they'll defend, and they defend well. And you've got to give them that. They're organised, hard to beat, got great shape. And when they get that goal in League One, League Two, National League North, it can be hard to break down, and they did it well. Again, I've seen Fleetwood park the bus before, and it's nice when you win. It's very frustrating when you lose. I was having a meltdown the other day. Fair play, Wimbledon. We move on. Another tough fixture against Rochdale Saturday, and again, I think if we played them in a couple of months, we won't have the team that we had the other day. We had an 18-year-old at right back who's played 4 career games. We had a partnership of 39 years of age in centre half. Again, our star striker out with injury, our winger out with injury. And again, who knows? Morecambe away, anyone?
Not looking good. Right, I've got to get through some of these comments. Ryan Dunbar's giving us Gogsy 99 most famous for crying his eyes out at Ibrox. Is this facts, Gogsy?
Well, it's one of the many things that's going up here in Scotland. About 3.5 years ago, Motherwell 1-0 up at Ibrox in a cup tie, and probably how I've got so many subscribers now is because Kenny Miller scored twice in the last 5 minutes. And I posted my reaction onto all my socials, and it had like over 1 million views on Facebook.
1 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, combined. Because a lot of Rangers fans shared it, and I went on to like the Blue Sea of Ibrox and Ibrox Loyal, and Rangers are very vocal on social media, so it's probably why it's got so many views.
Oh, blimmin' heck. That's a great boost to your channel, though, isn't it? 1 million views. It doesn't matter if you're crying. Ben's famous for all sorts of like last-minute goals, aren't you, Ben? You're not always crying, but you've had a lot of last-minute heartbreaks, haven't you?
You had to do it, right? You had to do it and bring up. And if you don't know, it happened again. You have to do it, right? I'm not being funny, right? And you all had a meeting before going, let's just piss Ben off. 8 minutes in, you've already said we had a good result, right? And I cry every time I go to Bloomfield Road. 8 minutes in, lads. I'm done. End of. Good night.
Whoa.
I should have just watched Liverpool Arsenal.
Yeah, well, look at this. I'm getting stickers. Well, let's put this up. Gurney says it won't be long before Blackpool's fickle fans want Critchley out too. Well, it could well be. It's all right. We've got this Neil Critchley, and I was discussing this with Jane. He's come from Liverpool Academy. He's brought all the kids through playing this Liverpool way. He's well respected at Liverpool, and the problem is, I think maybe that he's trying to play Liverpool football with players that just aren't good enough to play Liverpool football, and this may be the problem that we come up against, that we're not actually Liverpool, but we're Blackpool, and we haven't got those kind of multi-million-pound players that can do the sort of things that Liverpool do. And on Saturday, it was really poor. There's so much. Everybody's like really excited in Blackpool about the new manager, about the signings we've made and everything else. And we just looked absolutely clueless on Saturday. We never looked like scoring. We could have played till, typical play on till midnight and we wouldn't have scored. And this is, we were so excited about it. So we've come down to earth with a bit of a bump. And he's obviously only won 1 out of the first 3. So it's not looking quite so good in Blackpool. So who knows? I am expecting some stick from fans tonight, because I did predict Blackpool would win the league. It's not looking so good at the moment. It's looking pretty. It's really hard. Ben was saying before that doing a live stream and a watch along is pretty hard, isn't it, Ben? It's not easy. And I know you do it on your own, and it's kind of hard. But I have Jane with us, and even we were really struggling at one stage because there wasn't a lot to say. It was hard to keep it going, really, because I was getting really peed off. And then I can
agree with you.
I had I had one of the AirPods in so I could hear the commentary, and I disconnected everything by accident by taking, so I don't know, everything disconnected. The game went off. She had to sort it out. She was giving me real daggers as well. So I was like, I was in the doghouse with Jane for like stopping the live stream. It was all going pear on Saturday. It was just not a good day. But have any of you guys done a watch along? Have you done a watch along? Any of you? Have you actually done a watch along?
Not yet, because I'm watching actually somebody else who does a watch along, and I'm more interested being in the comments that while watching the game, while watching the watch along, which is kind of confusing at times. But I have a little bit of banter in there, and every time I've done a watch along, it just does. I don't like doing them. It's really hard.
They really are. They really are. To sort of,
there's
two of us, so we can have a bit of banter, with people. But flipping out, they are hard to kind of have banter, watch the match.
The only time I did the watch along and it got really good is when my little girl came and said, "Daddy, I've done a poo poo." I was like, "Thanks, brilliant." Walk back out again. And that was the only time where actually people went, "Oh, she's cute," and then it went downhill. Boy, they never work with kids.
No, kids and animals, so they say. Yeah. Right, here we go. Well, we'll probably have to save this for Dore, actually. It's Mr. Bounce in White says, to the Monk Out Brigade, this is his first season of the rebuild. Give him time. We're not Liverpool, City or Chelsea, etc. We aren't invincible. We're a normal team. Lose occasionally. Deal with it.
Well said.
That's pretty
well said. I think a lot of the Monk Out is a lot of people weren't happy. A, they weren't happy with the appointment in the first place. B, he didn't have a really good end of the season toward the end, but a lot of teams didn't. That lockdown screwed every single team up who had any kind of form. And then we had the whole thing. We didn't know if we were going down or if we're staying up with the 12 points. So we were always in limbo. And we're technically still in limbo now because we've appealed it. And we'll find out in November what happens. It could be that our minus 12 point go. It could be that we keep up. We don't know. We're still in that limbo situation. And we lost 7 or 8 players. So we left Fletcher, Fortieri, Windass, all the big name players on big money. And we'd only brought in about 4. We're about to sign Callum Paston from Cardiff for about 500k. Ooh. With Windass and Patterson, we'll only spent $1 million on transfer fees so far. And we're looking at 2 loans. So we're trying to not do the FFP thing and blow it out of the water again. It's like our owners learned his lesson and he's going to take it steady and build smart and bring in people who are right for the club, just not a big name and want big money. We're trying to get Zahor from West Brom. At minute, we want to pay 25k worth of his loan wages and they want us to pay more. And we're up and down if we want to walk away or not.
Right.
It's a lot of money, 25k.
How much is he on?
No idea. He's only 21. He's only 21 and he's on a lot, but they want him off the books. But it's really weird. They want him off the book, but they've got all that TV money. So it makes me wonder if they're prepping
it's
to
the
go
same.
Down. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's the same as Blackburn with us.
Yeah, it's the weird thing. Over the past season, we've given people big money and then not been able to move on. It's why we can't get rid of Kieran Westwood. Kieran Westwood is a fantastic keeper, not in the team due to falling out with 2 managers, but he's on high wages. Blackburn went to sign him and they signed someone else because his wages were ridiculously high. We went through a period where we gave people top-notch wages and then we couldn't sell them, or our owner was like, I'm just going to stockpile players. It's a little bit like what Forrest are doing a little bit because they're stockpiling players and signing players left, right and centre. Yeah. And we'd only ever made, in the 5 years Chansiri's been here, we'd only made, I think it's about 8 million on sales, and that's selling 2 players. That was Zhao to Reading, who's having a cracking season right now, and Jack Hunt to Bristol City for about 2.5. Yeah. We've never been able to get the business side of selling players right yet. So if we can,
8 mil's not a lot in Championship.
No, and it's that stupid thing. We bought a lot of players. Look at when we bought Jordan Rhodes. We paid 10 million for him. Granted, great player, but he's not done that for us for whatever reason. And He was always that player. Every time a transfer window goes on, you go on Twitter and there's always that one player everybody wants to sign. We finally sign him and he don't do fuck off.
So frustrating.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. We then send him out on loan to Norwich, does really well. But we did it with Winnall. Winnall came in, same season. We sent him on loan to Derby, scored lots of goals, came back to us and didn't do anything. And it's just really frustrating. We don't seem to get that balance right.
Is it a curse, Jake? Do you think Sheffield Wednesday are cursed?
I wouldn't say
gypsies
curse,
on the
but
club.
it does feel like it a bit. But one of the big things we've got at minute is we've got a defender called Iortha, which we pay 200k for from Watford. Not Watford, wrong team. Watford who wanted. Who did we buy him off? Wolves. Watford want to buy him, and people are saying, what realistic would you take for him? In this market, Championship centre-backs have been going for 15 to 20 million. So I'll go anywhere between 10 and 15 million, then add on a sell-on fee on top of that, and then add-ons. Because he's only 25, he could go further. But we need to start doing that because you look at Sheffield United and Barnsley, look how many times they put a sell-on fee on a player, and then they get it after a big transfer. We've never done it.
No.
Wolves have done it with Cameron John.
Yeah.
We had him on loan last season, and then we bought him this season. Fantastic player. Wolves have put a 30% sell-on clause.
Oof.
Yeah, that is a massive sell-on clause.
That's nothing.
I think he's got potential for going for big money.
30% is nothing. I put 50% on Football Manager each time I sell a player.
Look at
very wise.
I only got a 10% on when he went to Man City, and Barnsley got about 10 million, 15 million out of that deal. And that
it's clever business, isn't it?
That just went into academy. I'm surprised more teams don't put that sell-on fee on. It's like it's a bad thing to do, but it makes sense. Celtic do it all the time. Celtic sell a player down to the Premiership, and then they go, I'll have that money back now. They did it with Van Dijk. So I don't get it. It's like clubs are scared of putting that sell-on fee on because they think club might walk away because they want all the money. But at the end of the day, if they turn that player into a better player, you're going to make more money. It makes more sense.
Down the line, definitely. I mean, a lot of the little clubs do it. You know, they all have sell-on fees and that. Just moving on, Ryan Dunbar. Quick, I put this up before. This is to Gogsy. Was it us that gave Chris Long to Motherwell?
It's Chris Long.
Don't mention that
we've had a few players that have played for Blackpool.
Don't mention that name. No, don't mention that name.
Charles Dunn.
I'll take it off.
Ben Hennigan.
Who?
Ben Hennigan.
Oh yeah, we're a bit disappointed he's not re-signed for us because he seems to be without a club. But we really like Ben Hennigan down here. In fact, we could do with him. We need a bloody good centre half. That's what we're missing. Right, let's go on a little bit down. If I get any good comments up. What does that mean? Sheriff 1-2. Can you
that's a reference to in the playoffs between Motherwell and Rangers. Bilal Mosny punched Lee Irwin on the pitch after the game, after Motherwell beat Rangers 6-1 on aggregate. Yeah, Ryan Dunbar, you hear that? Motherwell 6, Rangers 1 on aggregate.
Anybody that can shut him up, I love it. So Grant, mate, I love you so.
Since Boxing Day,
it's true that Motherwell have
times.
Rangers in the league anyway since 2002. That's counting the old co and the new co Rangers. Rangers are our bogey team, but I mean, we'll beat other teams. Just can't beat Rangers.
So, mate, I'm just going to post this one up. It's quite a big one for me. I'm going to sort of answer this one. Michael Harrison. This is a Blackpool fan saying, we're excited to start last season after bringing 11 newbies, but lower league players, especially young ones, will not improve a side that had no investment for years. For me, I think Sadler's trying to do it on the cheap. Not going to happen in this league. You need to spend a couple of million, especially a decent striker, and I wonder how long the Optimists will stay happy. It's not the point that we're allegedly better since the scum went, but to be fair, we're not. No, we're not. I totally agree with you there, Michael. I'll take that away. I do think we've signed a lot of players, but a lot of nobodies. So, I think I'm getting feedback off me, aren't I?
Yeah, just a little bit, mate.
Yeah, I am. Mega feedback. Let me sort that out.
Log
I
out
would
and
like
come
to-
back in.
No, it's because
I just
of
apologise to Sheriff. I've got a lot of respect for him. but-
Do what you
Right,
meant.
I'm the captain now.
Just give me a moment.
So, Gogsy, who's Motherwell got this weekend then, as you're our new guest on the show?
Well, this weekend we've got Kilmarnock away. Be a difficult game, but I'm hopefully certain that we may get a result out of them. But we're a funny side this season. We took 7 games to actually win a league game. But in hindsight, Wolves did the same and got European football last season. So if they can do it, so can we.
That's the spirit.
I
Just
like that.
think that you're like Wolves. Yeah, I like that.
So what you're saying is all your players are Portuguese.
I wish.
You've got 10 Portuguese players in the starting line, pretty much. You've got enough to fill a Portuguese 11 bar one. And that's
We see like
Conor
Wolves'
Cody
third or fourth kit. It's literally like a carbon copy of Portugal.
Portuguese thing, innit? Didn't they take that like from FIFA or something stupid like that? It was like Ultimate Team or something crap like that.
Think so, yeah.
Mental.
Dore's
Dore said he's been waiting like 10 minutes.
Dore, mate.
He can wait even longer.
About 5 past will be 15 minutes. So make your mind up. Dore, we'll let you in at 10:01.
This one is for Ben. You maybe want to read that. That's a Blackpool fan giving credit to.
Yeah, 100%. I've heard
Got to be one of
that.
the best
I've heard
in the
that he
league,
does
yeah.
lose, but
Is he actually losing
100%.
around the week?
I'll tell you another thing that he did. He sent out an email, a note to every season ticket holder. And I think we've had just over 1,500 renew this year. We had 1,600 last year, just over 1,500 year. So obviously with the pandemic, I'd expected over half to cancel. And you let him. And we have this thing called Pillfoot Farm now. It's an £8 million training facility, which has got like a bar in, and it's called Pizza Cafe. It was called Cross Bar and Grill. And sells food, sells the alcohol, shows the football. So what he's done, he's let all season ticket holders have an advert for 2 pizzas, a couple of drinks in the bar worth 20 quid for every season ticket holder. And it's like, you don't kind of get that with other chairmans, do you? And it's like the way he treats the family, does like cheap away travel. He really makes sure that like the fans are looked after. So for me, he's a top bloke. And the top thing he said to me, I thought he was going to like literally have a go at me about filming. And he goes, I need to speak to you about filming. So he brought me to his office and he said, I need you to keep doing it. I went, what do you mean? He goes, keep promoting the club, keep doing it in the way you're doing. And I just thought other owners might not like it. And he's like, support me, making sure I'm trying to do the best content. And he said, if you're ever struggling to get to an away game, let me know and I'll try and sort you out. And it's like, it's just that people see him, people call him a crook. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's a proper football fan. And I couldn't wish for a better chairman, really.
We just, as you can see, Dore on tour has just arrived. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Happy with the way the football's going, Dore, in Nottingham?
What do you think, Lee? Lee,
That's why they asked.
Lee. Come on, there's no need for that. There's no need for that.
None of us are happy, mate. We're miserable here, so you just join the party.
Yeah, right. I'm more depressed than
Dore, can you see Barton out now?
Pardon?
Well, that.
Can I say Barton out now? We've lost our last 3 games.
Yes, you can. You can. Wait.
To be fair, the bloke who you want to play
No,
for the
Dore, you were awful. You were awful the other day.
Right. Yeah. Wait. So last Monday, when I done my rant, do you agree? I said it then.
It's bad.
How many games have you played?
It was
3.
bad. You were awful.
Relax.
Matthew, did you watch Forrest on Friday?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, Matthew. Did you watch Forrest on Friday?
Everyone has a bad day at the office.
Right.
Forrest have had 3.
Gogsy. Right, Gogsy. Did you watch Forrest on Friday?
Brilliant.
Gogs
Who you
there.
asking the question to?
Gogs there.
Oh, right, me. Oh,
Did you watch Forrest on Friday?
I did not. I
What?
don't really watch too much English football. I'm
you
very
disgrace.
Scottish
You are
centric. You know?
disgrace. Okay, 80 Dappers. Did you watch Forrest on Friday?
He's just going to go around the whole square, isn't he?
I caught bits.
Right. Did you watch the second half?
I watched it.
Same.
I said before we went live, you look at some teams, some seasons, and you just think you're going down.
Oh dear.
Right.
I'm sorry, Dore, I had to pull that up.
I had a rant last week about Forrest, and these lot were saying, "Oh, it's just 2 games, blah blah blah, this and that." I said to him, "Watch Forrest on Friday."
Whoa. Hang
Absolutely
on.
shocking.
You're awful.
Stop.
Hello.
The week before that, you turned around and said you'll give him till November because it's a new squad and you've let the players need to gel. You're forgetting what you said the week before. You said, "Oh, he doesn't need to go yet. Oh, you need to give him time. You've got a lot of play coming." And you have. You've got like 12 players and nearly all of them are defenders. So no wonder you can't fucking go.
Right. Did you watch?
You got to give managers at least 10 games at the start of the season.
Second half, how did we play?
You were dreadful.
Okay.
There was nothing there.
That says it all then.
Dore.
We were shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Dore, it says a lot when Nottingham have a...
Hello?
It says a lot when Nottingham has a... It says a lot when Nottingham has a hooters and you still can't score. So come on, mate. Get your finger out and get scoring.
Okay, I'll give you that.
But did anybody watch Dore's interview with Brian Roy? Did you watch his Brian Roy interview?
God.
That was really good, and what a nice guy he is.
Right, listen to me. I've been vlogging for 3.5 years, and that's my best moment as a YouTuber doing something.
How much did you pay him?
Nothing.
No, he was just such a nice guy, wasn't he? I mean, he even said to you, just call me Brian. I mean, I'm just Brian now. I'm not anything special. I'm just like you. I'm thinking, no, Brian, you're still Brian Roy. It doesn't change. Yeah. whether or not you're not actually playing for Ajax and Forrest anymore, you still can't take away the fact you are Brian Roy. And you were a major superstar. You know what I mean? But he was the most humble guy, wasn't he?
How did that interview come about then?
I don't think that mic's any better, Dore. I think you're just better on your phone, to be honest. That just seems actually worse, doesn't it? Does that seem worse to everybody?
Can no one hear me?
I can hear him fine.
That's better now.
Fine, Dore.
Yeah.
But like Brian Roy, like before I spoke to him on an interview, he's amazing. Most humblest guy I ever met.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've been YouTubing for 3 years now, and that's my best vlog.
Yeah.
Even if it was views, and that it's my best vlog because he's one of my idols as well.
You'll learn a lot from that, actually, Dore. You know, just from doing that. I was saying to Jane, there's a couple of things. When I started first doing interviews, mistakes that I made with it, and you'll probably, when you get doing them more, you'll get better at it because you're so nervous inside. You've got to really prepare and know everything about them. Do you know what I mean? So
you know what it is, right? It's funny, right? Because I meant to do my interview at 12 o'clock Dutch time, but you phoned me at 9 o'clock and said to me, "Ben, can we do it now?" I'm like, because I didn't have all my notes with me.
You didn't have your notes, so you kind of, you're floundering a bit to asking questions.
Yeah.
And the other thing as well is you've got to, when they say something, you've got to kind of like bring more out of it, because I wanted to hear a bit more about, like, when he said he was basically saying like scoring in front of the Forest fans was like unbelievable. They went ballistic. It was so loud. I wanted to delve into what was like, the loud, what was the goal that really, the most amazing moment, because it sounded like it was just unbelievable. Playing for Forest, from the way he was talking.
If like that interview, he is shy as well. He's really shy.
He didn't, honestly. He came across as such a lovely guy.
No, he's a lovely lad. I met him last year as well at a South Bank bar, and he was nervous as well there.
Wow.
But it was funny. Like when I just texted him, my name's Mr. Dore, blah blah blah, and I said to him, "Do you want to interview?" And the first words, "Yeah, go on then." I'm like, "What? Brian Roy, Forest legend," said yes. I mean, I was like, and I was so nervous. I was nervous.
But you think he got their door? That'll open up more doors because he'll make speak to other Forest players, which might then open more interviews up.
Yeah, but like I said, I know, like I go to vlog games, but like I said, I don't do interviews. I'm not like Ben Nappers. Like Ben Nappers, you do a great job. I'm not like Matchday Max.
Yeah, it's your first one, isn't it? But you'll get better at it. You know what I mean? It was good anyway. You know what I mean? It was good. I mean, I watched the whole thing through. I loved it.
It was outstanding.
You know, but just the more of those you do, the better you'll get. And now because you've got StreamYard and you can do the interviews with people, you know, just do it. You know, do it if you can get players on. It's brilliant. It's good to watch.
You know, for you like I don't know, you could get ex footballers. That's what you lot should do. Ex footballers are the best because right now you're not going to get players who play now.
No.
They're neglected, the ex-footballers. You know, they are.
Yeah, it's tough.
They're neglected, and they like to be back in the limelight because
they
they're
telling those stories that they tell the kid, but then the kid gets sick of hearing it because they've heard it so many times. So sometimes
for the you interview older players, but the younger fans they don't understand. They don't understand they'll say who's Brian Roy? Who's Brian Roy? Like Brian Roy is in my era. He was a 90s player, so.
Yeah, he was awesome, wasn't he?
It was amazing. Like it was amazing afterwards. I felt like the feedback. Like I got an email from a Forest director saying to me, "Oh Ben, that was amazing," and you can tell I was nervous. Like I was nervous, but Brian, like when I was slowly getting better, I was slowly getting better in the interview and all that. But yeah,
it was good. It was good. It was good. I'm saying it was actually good, but obviously the more of them you do, you know, the better at it you'll get. The more you do them. Yeah. Ben's brilliant at them, aren't you, Ben? You know, you're really, really, really good at the interviews now. He's class, and he does such a lot of research on it before. I had all my notes. And I left all my notes on my father-in-law's, and he just phoned me, "Oh, Ben, could you do it now?" I'm like, everything. I was rushing everything. So yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing achievement for myself. Yeah. This is a question I've put up for Ben, saying, how was Barry Mackay at Fleetwood? A big fan of it at Rangers. Can't believe the tiny amount of money we let him go for. How much did he go for? And where did he go? Sorry, I don't know much about Barry Mackay.
He went to Forest. I think he went to Forest for nearly $1 million. I think. I'm not sure. Dore might be able to correct me, but I know Forest went to Swansea for $500K. Then he came on loan to us, and again. Was unreal in the first 3 games. Went down a bit, but then in some games he was unplayable. Wickham away, unplayable. Pardon?
It was 4-year contract for just
Wimbledon away
when he went to Forest.
Yeah. So unplayable in his first 2 games, then went off the boil, then came back a bit, and he was good when he came on the other day. Great play in League One, very technical, will cause problems. But again, he's got the same amount. I know Blackpool said he's got the same amount of goals as Barry Mackay, Gary Medine. Mackay played quite deep last year, but again, it's exciting when he gets on the ball, makes things happen. So excited to have him back on loan. It'd be a good addition. I know Reese isn't a fan of him. I know Dore isn't a fan of him, and we've had a laugh about him before. But in League One, he's very technical and he can add something to our team. So as long as his ethics there, and if he can just get us 8-10 goals this season. Barton wants 80 goals. He thinks 80 goals will be enough if we can keep the back door shut as well to get us promoted. So we've got goal scorers in there. We just need to get the back door shut. We're waiting on Blackburn now for Charlie Mulgrew. He wants to come to Fleetwood. Fleetwood want to get him and don't want him. So I don't think Championship clubs are realising how much we are on a wage cap. Their wage cap is as is down, and we've got to wheel and deal really. And again, I think until the Championship clubs' wage cap's a bit lower, they may start to understand the financial elements of this wage, because we need a couple of players. We need a right back, we need a centre half. So it's down to the wage cap. A week left of the window. Hopefully we can get Mulgrew in and a right back, and then I think we might be done.
Did anyone win this week?
Well, Daniel up at the top there.
Yeah.
What was your score this weekend? You beat
Bristol Rovers 4-1.
4-1. It was a great result. Was that at home or away?
Performance. To be fair, first half I'd say it was fairly even. We probably just edged it. When we went 2-0 up, I thought, "Hey, we're cruising here." And then Bristol Rovers, Lehigh at left back, the ball's just come over, he's taken it down with one touch and then just dinked Bursick in goal. Fantastic goal. And at that point, it kind of, that cushion had just been halved and we looked a bit nervy. Half time came at a good time. Coppinger came on at half time and just changed the game. Just absolutely ran it. 39 years old and he's just playing. Where's he gone?
Mouth has gone. I don't know why. Has he disabled his video? Right,
Cops came on at half time.
Lisa's just come on, Dore, saying you were better than Derby. You definitely were, weren't you? Derby look a blooming nightmare, didn't they?
Jacka, that name is a thorn in my side. I'm a Donny lad originally. Moved to Sheffield for Sheffield last. And all my Donny Rovers mates always said, oh, he's a legend. And he is a legend. He really is. But the amount of stick I got when we were in League One and he tore us apart was unbelievable. One of my worst experience at a Donny Rovers game was we beat you 4-1. I can't remember.
That was at Bellevue, wasn't it?
Ken Wynne-Jones scored it. I had to bomb it from Bellevue all the way to Bowlby because all my mates were chasing me because I was proper giving it the big one in the away end, and then I realised, shit, I've got to go that way.
Last place you want to run is to Bowlby, mate.
I'm grew up there, so I know all the way to get there.
It's not too far away from Sheffield, is it?
Lee, I've been watching your not your vlogs. You know your interviews with.
That was good.
I really enjoyed them, watching them.
Which ones? With Eamon and Derek Spence and Tony Green.
Yeah.
Well, they were like early days. The only thing with those is I had that sort of idea to do these coffee mornings in Rowley's, which is like the restaurant that's in the ground. You can see the pitch behind everything. It's beautiful, isn't it? And they were really good, but they took me so long because I had to set up all like a studio, basically, lights up and mic everything, and then I had to do the record, and then I had to edit it all together, put it out, and they're taking me like 2 days, and there just wasn't enough watching it really. So I've shelved them for now, but they're going to come back when I've got, obviously. But back then I only had about like 400 subscribers. So now with 2,500, I probably do a lot better. But obviously you just can't do that sort of thing at the moment. You can only do the Zoom ones. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of those. When this new club opens, I don't know if you watched my video on the Armfield Club. Which is the new
that.
Yeah, well, that's probably you're seeing where I'm going with interviews and stuff, and what I've learned and how to set cameras up and all this. It is probably one of the most professional videos that I've done so far.
It's the only problem when you're a one-man band and you're doing it all yourself.
But they're going to have the former players of Blackpool are going to have a room there, and I'm also going to have a facility there to bring them into a show. So it's going to be, I can't wait, if I'm being honest, because there's going to be loads of former players, and every game at Blackpool, there's always former players. Well, at any club, they invite former players back to do the halftime draw and all that sort of stuff. They look after him and they bring him in for a meal. So all them players, I'm going to be getting in interviews and stuff. So I'm really excited about it. It's a big thing for me, really.
On that,
somebody's just put 1-1 Liverpool, if anybody's watching that.
On that former player thing, unless you name David Hurst at Sheffield Wednesday, he will not be coming back anytime soon.
Why?
So basically, we had his son in the youth team Wednesday, and he wanted a lot of money. He wanted more money than... This is what had come out anyway. He wanted more money. They fell out with the chairman, and apparently David Hurst wanted a finder's fee for having his son to the club. Like, he wanted a bit of money to say, I found my son, here's my son, can you pay me, please? And our chairman said, I'm not paying you nothing for finding your son, it's your own son. And it just left a real bad taste in the mouth. And it's never really... He's on loan at Rotherham at minute. And October, we got QPR, Rotherham, Wickham, Luton. And we need to desperately win those games. And they're all winnable then. We can take as many points from that. But like I said, we need to get off this -8 points as fast as possible. And if we can win all them, I'll be very happy. But the thing is, I know for a fact that if he comes on against Rotherham, he's probably going to go past us. It might be the only game of the season, but I guarantee it'll probably go past us and it'll just do our heads in.
As they always do. I just put a comment up there for Gogsy from Ryan. Actually, Motherwell have a stand full of Silhouette fans to promote suicide prevention, which is a fantastic thing to do. So even though you can take the mick out of you, Gogsy, after yesterday against some fair play, tell us a little bit about this then.
Well, most of them actually left at half time.
Oh God! Did they? Oh God! Oh, brilliant! Most of them left at half time.
I've been waiting to use that one ever since I saw the comment.
Oh, that's super quality, that Gogsy. I tell you, I love it.
Gogsy.
Yeah.
What's this Luke Turton? Luke Turton. I can remember interviewing Brian Rice.
Can Scotland fans go into the stadium yet?
No, we are still very. I think we're about to enter a second lockdown back up here. So I think I think it was about March. That's the target now for fans to be allowed back in. Yeah, March. There's been a few trial events, but since the risk of a second spike, I think we're just going to be watching it on TV now. Unfortunately,
you guys have been stopped from going to second household as well, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much. That's.
What is Scotland finances like for like little clubs then, if that's the case? Is there many clubs might go under or like there is?
There has been quite a few clubs that have been saying, look, we're needing money, etc. Like the second, third and fourth tier are all doing only 27 games this season because they couldn't afford the wages of players. So they had to basically release some players and then offer them a contract from, say, October through to about April, May, so they don't have to pay so many months' wages.
Right. Because I always look at this whole like situation with the whole virus and these little clubs, and you see how many little clubs that are probably going to go under because they don't get they live on like gate receipts.
Yeah.
They live on gate receipts, and that's what pays everything. It's like you look at.
That's the difference between.
You've got some
Scotland
clicking
and
somewhere. I don't know. I've got a clicking sound from somewhere. I don't know who that is, but there's a little bit of a clicking sound. So.
Is there?
Where's that coming from?
I can't hear it.
Let me just see if it's loudmouth.
What are you doing down there clicking?
Has that gone now?
Clicking.
Yeah, it's you. It's you, loudmouth. Again, you're clicking.
You son of a.
You've got some sort of like staticky clicking sound. I'll just mute your mic for a minute. If you want to undo it and
unplug it and plug it back in again.
I've muted you, Matt, just for the moment while you just faff around with that.
There's a window behind you. You want to throw it out?
2-1 to Liverpool now. We're getting 2-1 to Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
So what's everyone's like? I know everyone's pretty much had a bad start to the season so far, pretty much, apart from Dappers, obviously, because he's just been Donny Rovers, they're just going with their own little flow. But where do people actually see where their problems are with their team? Via Dore's, he wants a new manager and they signed 12 players and then he'll want another new manager. Where do everyone see where their problems are?
Stop picking on me.
For me, it's our depth. Even though we've had a really good start to the season, first 11, very, very good. The bench is okay, but then beyond the bench, a couple of injuries, I think we'll struggle, especially in key areas. But while ever we've got a fit squad, I think we can beat anybody in League One.
Who you signed this summer, if anyone?
Couple of loanees. We've got John Jules from Arsenal, Taylor Richards from Brighton. He used to play for Man City.
Right.
Ray Tulloch from West Brom. All three of those young lads look fantastic. Andy Butler came back from, I think he was at Scunthorpe or he was a free agent. I think he's added a lot of experience into a young squad. Cameron John as well. Ed Williams from Kidderminster Harriers as well, but he's not really featured too much. I think that's about it. I might have missed one or two, but
See that
big loss to Kieran Sadlier to Rotherham, top scorer last year, can create something from nothing. But I think what we've added in the attacking area to add to Fajiri Okunabiri, who we got in January last year, we're looking good. Positive season.
Did you lose many before the start of the season?
No.
We keep a good core together.
We've had quite a bit of continuity. The squad got decimated after last season against Charlton. We got beaten in the playoff semi-final, and then I think we had like maybe 3 or 4 players left from that. Grant McCann went to Bull, and Darren Moore just had to rebuild the whole squad. Yeah. So he's now had a couple of transfer periods, and I think what we're seeing now is very much Darren Moore's squad. They're playing the way that he wants them to. We look solid at the back. We attack quickly. Yeah, positive, but it's just a shame that we can't go and watch it live.
What about you, Lee?
Sorry, what was the comment? I'm just trying to fix that.
Where do you think you need to get your team improved to in terms of players and what's there in a sense? And have you lost some key players?
Well, the one thing we haven't replaced is Armin Nangelay from last season, who got goals. He just got goals. A lot of fans were quite often on his back, and they didn't like him. They say he was lazy, but at the end of the day, he just did get goals, and we don't seem to have a goal score at the moment. We got somebody's mentioned it already. Gary Medine, the goal machine, who we signed on a free, and he's turning out to be the song isn't quite right. He's just not a goal machine.
I think we christened him at one point Gary Machine, the washing machine.
Yeah. I think we might be changing the chant from the goal machine to washing machine. That sounds perfectly right. But defensively as well, we need a centre half, really. an experienced centre half, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, everybody's buying into Neil Critchley's this philosophy of playing attacking football, but unfortunately sometimes, just as we saw on Saturday, we let in 2 really dead, schoolboy defending for 2 goals, both early in the first half, early in the second half, and we just huffed and puffed, and we just, like I said before, we could have played till midnight. We could still be playing now. We'd have never scored because we just never look like scoring, and it's just, I just don't know what the answer is. I think we need definitely a striker to replace Nangelay in a centre half, and we'd have had Ben Hennigan back for sure. He would have been really good. He would have been really good for us, but I don't know why he's not come back to that. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, what about you, Godley?
Yeah.
What about you? What do you reckon you need or are missing?
A whole new team. But being serious, we've pretty much done all our business. We've brought in a new player on loan from Livingston to offer us cover for David Turnbull, who was sold for a club record fee of $3 million to Celtic. But apart from that, I mean, I don't really see us making any more wholesale changes, as you would say. But I don't even know when the actual transfer window ends.
In England, it's the 6th of October, but the loan window's still open to the end of October. League 1 and League 2. I know there's a couple of weeks later, so but it is next week, 6th of October.
Nick Muller's posted fans won't be back this season, he reckons. I'm pretty much in agreement with him. I don't think we are going to be back. It's just another blooming lockdown, isn't it? I don't get it, to be honest. I don't get why you can go in Asda and walk around Asda with about 500 people and people are passing you and you can't sit in a stadium with 1,000 of you with blooming, all that space around you. I mean, I understand the whole stadium not being full, but it's so... they had 1,000 at Blackpool. People had a row to themselves, for God's sake. How much space do you need? Yeah. It just makes no sense to me at all, really. And we've been doing non-league. You've seen us gone and done the non-league. The non-league. Been taking us some non-league grounds. To try and get them a bit. People going and that. And we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed going and watch non-league football. It's been great, but it's been.
It's not the same, is it?
No.
It's just football's not the same. I mean, watching it on iFollow, it's garbage, really.
It's hard work. It's hard trying to be a neutral. I mean, I've gone to a few non-league games, but because you don't support either team, you're kind of like, yay, go team. And it's just like, you've got no real connection. So you're just going for the sake of going to watch a game of football when really you could.
But I'm going to vlogging, so it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? I'm kind of busy and I'm getting interviews with managers and all this sort of stuff, and I'm enjoying it. But I've actually enjoyed watching football. But no, it's not the same as watching your own team. But I'm not enjoying watching my team on iFollow.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do a watch along.
I just don't think it's. I just don't think football without fans in it is the same thing. It's just not the same thing, and I can see a lot of football clubs struggling because the Premier League are wanting all this money from Sky. They're not going to be getting it if they haven't got fans in because it's not the same product. They're not selling Sky the same products. I'm sure there's not as many people watching these Premier League games without the fans in because they're just not as exciting, are they? It's all like watching a training match.
If they somehow manage to let fans in, are any of you going to continue doing vlogs this season? Or will you just wipe it completely out of the existence and crack on from the following season? Because I'm not. If they somehow let fans back in, even at Barnet level, if I can't start at the beginning of the season, I can't be bothered to start around Christmas time or March time. I don't see the point.
I think I'll continue doing kind of match previews. Not sure about match day vlogs.
I think I'll do match day vlog because I think that's what I miss. That's what my audience miss.
Yeah, definitely.
So when I've done the Basement game, loads of people say, "Oh, match day vlogs about Dore, blah blah blah." But I think that's what my channel is: go on tour, go to games, and that's me. To be fair. But like I said, with this interviewing thing, I think that's one thing I could do as well. So
Dore, all comedy aside with it, what do you think you're actually missing in terms of, and what would you change? And what?
It's confidence.
Right.
That's all it is. It's confidence, but at the same time, it's the tactics that Limucci's doing. It's awful. It's awful, but it's just confidence. I think I was saying to all my Forest fans, it's just that one goal we need. We need one goal, and I think things will change.
Do you think you've got the striking for up front, or do you reckon you need more?
No, we've got strikers. They're just not scoring. Because on Friday, it was Taylor up front, and what got on my nerve, he brought off Taylor for grabbing. Playing them both together, we're struggling to score goals. Playing them together.
Will you take Carvalho out of the under-23s then and put him in?
Pardon?
We take Carvalho out of the under-23s and put him straight
He's not in the team at all.
That's a weird one. I don't get that though, because he was like one of your main creative players.
The thing about Carvalho, he's a fantastic player. He is a great player, but he only plays well when there's no pressure on him.
Well, he's in the wrong sport then, ain't he?
Yeah.
Sheriff 1-2. I've posted this up. Gogsy is the king of watch along. So what do we need to learn from you, Gogsy, to make these watch alongs better? What do you do with your watch alongs?
I wouldn't necessarily say you've got to learn from me. I think that would be a bit egotistical for me to say that. But what I do is I get 3 other folk on and make sure we have like a full four host panel, and we have like a representative from each club playing, and then we talk about the game, and we get a neutral on as well. So we've got like all different angles.
So you've got like a moderator.
Do you do that on StreamYard, Gogsy? Is it on StreamYard?
Yeah, we do that on StreamYard as well. It's been very successful for the channel. I've actually gained 400 subscribers since the start of the season because of it. So
we gained quite a lot on ours, to be honest. We've gained, probably about 400 myself over since the season started. Pretty similar.
And I would say streaming is probably just as rewarding in terms of your channel growth as creating your own vlog. If not, it's more rewarding because
there's less work. There's less work. You don't have to edit a video.
Plus, it gives the audience the luxury of just jumping in and then jumping out. So say if there's a goal and they want to see the reaction, they can just come in for the goal and then they can just jump back out and then they can go away and watch the game again.
Yeah. So you're bringing a guest vlogger in from the other club or just a fan?
For example, right, because I've got from the one I did yesterday for the Motherwell game, I had another Motherwell fan on, and I had someone who supports a different club. I couldn't get a Rangers fan on because my target doesn't like doing watch-alongs, so that wasn't in the sort of chance to come to fruition. But we did get another person who didn't support either club, so we could just sit and watch the game, get a wee neutral perspective, and get a Motherwell fan perspective. We both thought we were shite.
Are those vloggers, Gogsy, or are they just random fans?
Two of them
How
were
are you getting the
vloggers.
fans?
I've got my mate Fraser, who's basically my YouTube wingman. He basically wherever I go, he goes basically.
Right.
Then we've got my mate Kobe, who's an Aberdeen vlogger, who did a video with Dore actually. The other day.
Yeah, good bloke, good guy.
And my other mate, who's a Motherwell vlogger as well.
Right. Okay.
So, same
All right,
question
good.
to you, Cod Vogs. What do you reckon you're missing? Ben?
Obviously, getting our players back to win. Getting our players back from injury will be massive. I said we need a centre half experienced. One is quite close, I've heard. In an experienced one, just need Blackburn to agree it. I think we need another right back. I really do. Flanagan's been on trial, but I don't think the club want to go for him. I know Gabriel was linked. I think it'll be someone on loan, if I'm honest with you. And maybe another striker just to add a bit of competition for Ched and Paddy. I know young Harvey Saunders has done well. But I still think going forward, we just need that other one. We looked a bit toothless up front in the last 2 games. So, experienced centre half. We've got a very young back line at the moment, a right back, because, again, our defence is probably as weak as the BBC iPlayers password lock is to go and watch something on there. So, up front, 1 more, defensively 2 more, then I feel we're away.
All right.
Is there any truth in this rumour that Charlie Mulgrew was at Poolfoot today? Is that from James Longbottom saying that to you?
Yeah.
Is that really
Picture
there?
already didn't happen.
Yeah, I've heard
Charlie
the
Mulgrew
same.
right.
Don't want to say just yet. But again, good player, good experience. I think he scored 14 goals 2 seasons ago in this league, and he's a centre-back, 14 goals. So, again, he'll add a quality free kick. He'll add experience to the back line. And, again, I think he's 34, 35 now. But, again, it's someone that we need. I think sometimes youth is good, but experience is unreal. Glenn Whelan, again, is an unreal midfielder. I just think he's like a sniffer dog, Glenn Whelan. Wherever the ball is, he'll sniff it down and somehow he just chases me down.
When we had him.
Sorry?
We had Glenn Whelan and we sold him for absolutely nothing. We made no money on him pretty much. And it was one of...
he's fantastic.
We sold Glenn Whelan and Chris Brunt. I think we made around 4 million for the pair of them when we sold them. And it was mental how much we sold them.
And I know you won't like this, but we've also got Paul Coots and Mark Duffy, and I believe Mark Duffy is one of the best players in League One. I really do. Mark Duffy is quality. Again, the way he can control the game. And again, well, I know you hate that name, but again, I remember the Sheffield Wednesday fans singing, "If you know fucking Mountain Europe," like 2 minutes later, Mark Duffy goes inside, mugs his Wednesday defender off and scores a beautiful goal. So, absolutely, and again, the celebration was even better. So, again, a great player, another experienced player, and Paul Coots is the same. So, remember as well, Fleetwood, we didn't go on a run until February last year, and it started with a couple of draws and a win against Doncaster yourselves, and then we beat Peterborough at home, beat Portsmouth at home, went to Sunderland, got a point against Blackpool, but the run just kept going, went 12 unbeaten. And again, I think if we can get a team settled, we can go on another run, probably better in my opinion.
Sharky is in the chat. Should we invite him in if he wants to come in? Sharky, let us know if you'd like to come on the stream. Toon Army TV, he's a Newcastle United fan. He's just said, "Evening, lads. We got lucky yesterday with VAR. Football's going mad with poor calls. The handball rule is messed up."
No!
Matthew, can I ask a question?
9 inches. No, look, from like there to there, so there's like 9 inches. What are you looking at? You lot are filthy. Go on, Dore, what's your question?
When does your league start?
This Saturday.
Who you got?
Who have you got?
Eastleigh at home.
Ooh,
Or the
okay.
Hive, depending who you ask.
How many players you got?
I think my mic's not working again, Lee.
No, it's working. It's working fine. It's working fine.
Yeah.
How many trialists have you actually finally got in your books?
Well, the last game we had 1 start, and I think we had 2 on the bench. And from what people were saying, that the trialist had a really good first half, but then was blown out of his arse in the second half. So clearly not fit enough. So what's the point? You know, what is the absolute point? I think there will be one or two more signings before the season starts, but I ain't got hope in hell.
Like so basically, your analogy is you're fucked.
Yes, I did say on a serious note, we will be hovering just above the relegation zone. If we end up getting relegated, oh my God. But you don't know. I mean, I think our squads should be strong enough compared to the likes of Altrincham and Kings Lynn and all that lot. But football's a crazy game. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, all can change.
Who knows? We might go on and piss the league for all I know. We might just get a turn of luck and it might just happen. But at the moment, we do need a good, I'd say, another 5 more signings at least.
Right.
Look at that, $1.99 from Sheriff 121. Thank you very much, Sheriff 1.
Would we all get a half split of that?
£1.99. We'll have to share it between them.
I didn't know people pay us money.
Yeah, so that you split 7 ways then,
you can definitely donate to this channel for sure.
Yeah, donate to me.
Send me Haribo. Fuck the money.
We'll split the $1.99 between us.
Can I tell you something? I'm 11 away from 3K.
Oh, here we are.
Subscribe to Dore and Tour, please.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to all these boys. I have put the links into the comments below, and I'll put Dogs' channel in as well, so you can subscribe to him.
I'm 10 away from 8,500, so that'd be brilliant.
Somebody's asking us about Pie Face, a guy called Jack Sports Plymouth. So I don't know who he is. Apparently, he's a Plymouth supporter. Maybe find out for next week if we can get him on. I don't know, but Jord Edgy One says, Dore, you may as well be a food channel, pal. Is it?
Cooking with Dore on Sundays.
Listen, I've got some water.
He's all right. He's only drinking tonight. He's barred from eating crisps. Hang on, we got Toon Army TVs.
And I got tested yesterday as well.
Bring him in. There we are. Toon Army. How you doing, Shocky? So, tell us about VAR.
Oh, don't.
Well, it's not often you say that, but VAR just completely ruined it for Spurs yesterday. Have to admit. We deserved absolutely nothing out of that game. I mean, I can't even believe we're coming with a point.
What do we think about this Man United decision where they blew the whistle and yet then they brought it back after the game and let them have a penalty?
The laws of the game. It was
I think, to be honest, I think it was Brighton's own doing. If I'm honest, they missed so many chances, but it's Man United, isn't it?
Yeah, by the laws of the game, apparently it was right, but I was fuming at it. It's like, surely the full-time whistle come. That's the end of the game.
If there's no VAR, that finishes 2-2.
Yeah.
Can I speak, please? As a qualified referee, I would just like to say that if the incident happens within the allotted time, then they've got every right to go back to check VAR to see if it is a penalty.
Yeah. Right.
Even
though the whistle was blown, you can still go back retrospectively. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I mean, it may not be the most
game
popular.
Would have been a lot better with fans in it.
I think it's only right, in my opinion, and I think it helps referees because it's a thankless task as it is.
Oh God, I wouldn't be.
I think VAR will help the game. I just think it needs a lot of revisiting, especially.
I just don't think Dyer handballed it. There's nothing he can do. He's looking away from the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like when I look back at it, I thought, what's that? And then when he gave a penalty, I was baffled. That's harsh.
The handball thing completely changed. It changes every season, it seems. It seems like there's a new definition what handball is. And
it's crazy.
Until they get to that point where they go, right, this is what handball is, we're keeping it there. It's never going to really get fixed. VAR, in terms of what it is, it's fantastic. We've been calling for it for years. Yeah. The only problem is it's not implemented well yet, and fans don't.
No, there's something wrong with it, isn't there? I remember, my dad, bless me, always used to go, they ought to have some way of being able to, review these, these bad decisions. But the trouble is, it's coming in. It's like, I've talked to Premier League fans, and they don't even celebrate a goal because you've got to wait.
Yeah, no, but that even when we score, you can't because you just think you're going to get ruled offside or it's a handball or whatnot. You can't.
Yeah, so is that good? I mean, we've not experienced that, but that would be awful.
You can't get excited. You can't get excited.
No, it's a very strange. It's not being done right, is it? Somehow.
I went to the when Forrest played Chelsea in FA Cup. We lost 2-0, and we had 2 goals disallowed. Because of VAR, it was just a little bit, it was tiny bit offside. Tiny.
When you were in the stands, Dore, you didn't know what was going on, did you?
No.
That's the thing. When you're in the stands, you have no idea what's going on, and that's the bit that needs to get worked on. And we all want it to be instant.
Do you know how cricket do it? Like cricket do it, and they put it up on the big screen, don't they?
And all that lot. Yeah.
And everybody's waiting for the decision, aren't they? And and it comes up on the big screen. And
the wicket, you stop the game anyway. That's the thing. The game stops anyway to do that. So you always have a little bit of a lull. In football, there isn't that lull.
Has anyone seen that interview? I think it was Sam Matterface. He's done it on Talk Sport. Has anyone seen it or heard it? Where he basically goes on a bit of a rant for a couple of minutes.
Go on, explain to us.
Go on.
Matt?
Well, no, he just basically goes on a rant talking about the old VAR decisions, and he spoke about the people who are in charge. And he said, and I think in the 4 years that they've been in charge, they've changed the rules about 80 odd times. And it's like, who are these people? Have they ever played the game before in their life? Or are they just like suits who sit in an office and go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Or we'll go and fucking do that, shall we? Because look, I support non-league football. That's about as much as you're ever going to get for me. But it's just ruining the game. Yes, by the letter of the law, you can't really argue about it. But is it common sense? That's the way.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? It was this comment I put. Liam Barnet is saying we were led to believe at the start that VAR was for clear and obvious errors, and that's exactly what I thought it was going to be. We've all sat in football matches, and there's been a completely obvious offside or a completely obvious handball in the box, or it's a definite penalty. You know what I mean? Everybody's going ballistic at the referee, aren't they? And you want them to look at that decision, but it's deciding on minute little details that somebody's offside by a centimetre, so the goal's disallowed. It wasn't clear and obvious, was it? Everybody just thought, oh, it's a goal.
It was actually fingernails. It was fingernails and arms in that last season, wasn't it? Toenails.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because we all know that every football fan knows the kind of decisions that you want putting right. The ones where we're just screaming at the referee, aren't we? We're just absolutely screaming. I can remember vividly, and I actually thought I was going to have a heart attack on this because I was getting so mad because we were playing Man United in the Premier League at Bloomfield Road, and they came down the right wing, right on the corner flag it was, and we slid out and they gave Man United a free kick, and you could see the marks of the two players were basically on the corner flag.
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs picks the ball up and takes the ball all the way into the penalty area and takes the free kick from inside the area. 15 yards we're talking here? And the referee never said a word. I tell you, I was so mad. I was screaming at the referee. I was just screaming.
I remember. No, honestly, I remember watching that in the highlights and thinking, "What's he doing?"
Yeah, why is he taking it? Why is he taking the ball right into our penalty area or right on the edge of it? He might not have been in it. He was right on, but he was nowhere near. It was just nowhere near. I'm thinking, are they just giving this game to Man United or what? And I was just going mental. And those are the sort of things.
Did you hear about what happened in the Lazio Napoli game a couple of years ago when they started rolling VAR out? They couldn't check VAR because Lazio flags were in the way of the camera, so they couldn't use VAR the entire of the game.
Italians,
Really? They went to the second camera thing to check it all, and the flag were just waving all over the place. They couldn't actually say if it was going to do. They had to. So that side of the ground where they were doing all the checks and stuff, they couldn't actually do any check for at all. So it's like they just kept on making it even worse. And
no one's going to replicate the World Cup, though. I don't think it's ever going to be replicated. That was when VAR was successful.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not going to replicate it.
Very well.
Steve's saying if he's honest.
They're starting to go with monitors now, aren't they?
The what? Sorry, Ben, you're just losing you again. Sorry. What was that?
What is there, Ben?
They're starting to go over to the monitors now.
Yeah,
they are.
It's to be honest with you, like I say, when I go back to yesterday's game, at first I thought that's not a handball, and when they kept looking at it, I'm thinking he's not even looking at the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like I know it's going for my side, but then sometimes you got to look at the other side. They've dominated. Do you know what I mean? We've done nothing in the game. We should have been 4-5-0 down at half time. That's my brutal honest assessment.
Right. Well, that's nothing, like you say, it's ball to hand, isn't it? Which we've always had in football, where, if it's not deliberate and like you say, if you're not looking at the ball and it hits your hand, you're not trying to, it's just an accidental sort of thing.
I think the thing is that it's now getting to the point where you watch a game, and if the VAR decision, that's all anyone talks about. They forget the game. There might have been a wonder strike in it, but
it's so detailed now, though, that you've got to get to every little spectacle and they just slow the game down. It's football is not what you see of what it used to be.
No, but and the other thing as well, it's not in slow motion, is it? Football is not in slow motion. So when you see an incident, sometimes it looks worse in slow motion. I mean, I remember Gascoigne, getting sent off, on the winking incident.
Yeah.
But Gascoigne he was falling over, and he stamped on him, but he was just kind of falling. It was all but they slowed it down. It looked like he totally stamped on the player brutally, and I thought it was a terrible decision. I still don't think he stamped on him. I still think he fell. And there's lots of things when you see it in slow motion that it's just not actually. It's worse than it actually is in reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's all.
I don't know if you agree with that.
It's like they forget that it's a contact sport now as well.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. Like one of our players last year at Inuju, every time he jumped for the ball, he was 6'6", but every time all the player would do, the defender would be like, "Oh, he took my arm and fall over," and he would get it against
it. Clumsy lump anyway, isn't it?
Anymore. It's just not, because it's. I love them to go back down some of the Premiership teams, watch a Championship game, and watch how fast and flowing it is at times. And it's a lot more exciting. You watch a Premiership game, it gets really boring now and quite static, because at some point there's going to be some sort of decision that's going to either ruin it all or just made it completely not right, if you know what I mean.
Who's just gone? No, we've lost one, haven't we?
Nat said he's popping out.
Oh yeah, I don't know. He's struggling again. Anyway, I don't know why he lags so much. Nobody else seems to have a problem, but he's just.
Is it Fleetwood connection?
It must be.
I'm sorry, Ben.
Just got Daniel Teckers actually. He's here. Hello, Daniel. He says Newcastle were lucky, but I don't care because I hate Spurs. We could almost bring Daniel in, couldn't we, if he wants to?
Do you know, like I say, you know what it is? I predicted a 1-1, but we didn't deserve anything in the game, and I'll be brutally honest. The Spurs played us off the park. We've got a horrible record when we came up against Spurs, but somehow we seem to be unbeaten at White Hart Lane. I don't know what it is.
And to be fair, Spurs don't look good this season either.
Did that really happen? I didn't know that. Gascoigne got booked by the ref versus his because the ref dropped his yellow card. Yeah. Gather thought it'd be funny and booked the ref.
The ref didn't have a sense of humour.
Yeah, he didn't, did he? I vaguely remember that now, actually. All right, he's back. Is that, have we sorted things out, Ben?
That looked better.
Yeah.
That does look better.
Dan, you hear me okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I can't figure out what it is or why it keeps doing it to you, Ben. Why you just keep...
Well, I'm on me. Every time I've used my laptop, it's not done it. Every time I use my phone, it looks good, so...
Use your phone?
Yeah.
I've been doing that for my last few streams.
Yeah. Who's next fixture then for everyone else? Who's the next fixtures?
And that looks fine.
Newport.
Ben. You look fine.
Newport in the cup.
Put my headphones in.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm quite nervous for the Newport game. I'm talking of a League Two side. Like the way we've been playing, I think they've got a chance.
They're the surprise.
Newport usually beat the big dogs in the cups as well.
They do. They've beaten Watford. They beat Leicester a few years ago.
Yeah,
they beat Swansea as well.
Yeah. I've just done my preview and I've said I don't want to underestimate them in any way because they are a real cup side. I know Morecambe were pretty crap, but I think Newport are like up there. Are they like third or something in the league? So they're doing all right.
Well, they beat Bolton.
Yeah, like Rodney Parade sounds like a ground that nobody even wants to go to for a cup game. So, you know what?
I've been there for a cup game.
But that's just being optimistic. We should win, but we've got no divine right to win if they try.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Burnley 8 o'clock kick off on Saturday in the Premier League.
Right. We've got Bristol City.
Oh, they were good against us in the second half.
Dore, what's going on with Nottingham Forest?
No comment.
All these signings?
No comment.
No comment.
Are you actually?
You're all right to comment, Dore. That phone looks fine, Ben. I would stick with that if the laptop's not working because the pitch is great. Pitch is great. Sounds great. It's wonderful.
Are you actually signing more players? Is that what I saw earlier from your thing earlier?
Yeah, we're signing. Well, basically, Thiago Silva is going to our feeder club, Olympiacos.
Right.
And we're getting a player from them called Cafu.
Right.
Cafu. Wow.
Daniel's got to go. He's off to work. So thanks a lot for being in. We'll catch you again.
We need to get rid of some dead wood, so there could be some players there for you. Atu, Saibe,
you're talking about Dapper then.
We have to play called Cafu. He's coming as well. So we're linking. We were linked with another 20 players as well. We're signing the whole world.
I looked at your squad list and it's insane.
Mad.
The amount of players you have on your books is mental.
Oh, man.
It is mad. We've got so many players. It's
Are they
crazy.
on high wages? A lot of them. Then do you reckon a lot of them can't get a shit of wages?
What it is, we got Marco Hefner, we got Bilal Wan, we got and they're not even playing. We got Bong, he's not even playing. They're on high wages. Huh?
Gaitan Bong.
Yeah, we've got so many players on high wages that basically they just don't want to go. They don't want to go, but
which is the same thing we had. We had so many players on high wages, and when they're in that mode, another club coming in offering lower wages, sometimes it makes you wonder what they're actually there for. Are they there for the money, or they don't want to go play football? And I think we had it for a while where a lot of them just were happy with what they're getting and didn't want to really get in the squad. So it's one of those things that it's really weird with Forrest because this is your second owner now.
Yeah.
It seems like you're going back to what you did last time, if you know what I mean.
We're not going. With our owner, he's backed us. Like he's brought in the players that Limucci wanted. So he got Limucci's got what he wanted.
Right.
So he can't complain with that bit. So to be fair, our owner's been great. But
you got to remember as well, though, Joe, it's only early doors, so you can still turn it around.
Yeah.
No, look, we've won 4 games in 19.
I'm saying I've seen clubs have a really bad start in the Championship and they've somehow went up. I mean, it can happen.
Listen, if you was here last week, right? Everyone was picking on me, and you can it was everyone. And as a Forest fan, you got to look at it. Like, did you watch Forest on Friday?
I did. You were poor.
I've seen the highlights at the Huddersfield.
Yeah, we were shocking.
I'm going to say something. That Fraser Campbell goal was fantastic.
It was a great goal.
That was a great goal.
Ideas. You had no ideas going forward. Like
exactly.
You were poor. You were slow. I don't think your players were. I think your players were like, oh well, they scored, and they couldn't get over the disappointment of. I think the longer it stays 0-0, the more confidence you grow. I think it's kind of like your under 6s, under 17. As soon as you concede a goal, the head goes.
Yeah.
They don't know how to respond. They haven't got that kind of stalled leadership in them. Look, we're 1-0 down. We need to stick together. It's a hard time at the moment, but you've got the quality. You've got the quality in that squad to be beating teams and be able to come back. So I think. I think this what you said last week was a bit soon. I agree with your football. I just think if it 3, 4, maybe 5 more games, and if it is still like this, maybe let him go because I think it's a bit bit late now. It's a bit early to say. Lamucci's got to go. That's all I'm going to say.
Right, we've got a question for Gogsy. I've been asking for a few Scottish questions, if anybody's out there, because obviously we don't know too much about Scottish football. So I'm probably lying. He's getting a bit of stick. Obviously, people give me stick. But Football Prime Ginger said, hello, the question is for Gogsy. Where do you think the Well will finish with Turnbull joining Celtic? What are your opinions on that?
Well, as I've said previously, I think Turnbull leaving might have been a blessing in disguise, because I think the only reason why Turnbull played all of the games leading up to him being sold was so we could actually put him in the shop window, because I think that his replacement, Liam Polworth, was actually a better fit for the squad, because a lot of our play was basically focused around Turnbull, and whenever Turnbull got the ball, there'd be 3 or 4 men on him within a flash every game we played this season with Turnbull in. So we played 5 games, our first 5 games with Turnbull in the squad before he went to Celtic. We didn't win any of them, and then as soon as he goes, the next day we beat Glentoran in the Europa League, and we got a couple more points on the board, and we've actually been playing some really good football without Turnbull. So I don't think it's a complete disaster. And we've got 3 million in the bank.
That actually helps you, because people are not targeting him and giving him a chance to play.
Exactly.
Yeah, that can happen, can't it? All the balls are going to him, and obviously, they're defending him out of the game, and you're probably better without him, and it brings other people on. And okay, so there you are, Football Prime Ginger. That's answered.
Where's Loudmouth gone?
Loudmouth.
Private chat.
He's coming back soon. Yeah, he's just had to go for a little while. Right, let's just see if we've got any more questions at the moment. Somebody did say that the Premier League, I put it up before. Russ Vernon was asking you, Dore, do you think Sabri Lamucci will be sacked if he doesn't win the next game or games? How many games do you reckon he's got, Dore?
Like I said, we've got Bristol City next at home, and this is where that our last game we won was Bristol City at home, and we've got them next. Right. So
good omen. Good omen. Yeah, but do you want him to win? Do you want him to win, or do you want him to go?
No, I want.
He better he loses and he gets the sack.
That's Forrest fan.
Do you think if you win Saturday, I think about Uwe Rosa now. Uwe Rosa, the first season unreal, got us into the playoffs. A bit like the Moochie, I'm not trying to take a dig, but just missed out on the playoffs. He should have got into the playoffs. And then second season syndrome was worked out. Had the same at Wigan. Was again awful. Again went on an awful run. Then should have got sacked after Gillingham at home after that 2-0 defeat. And then won at Bury, won at Oldham. Again, I thought that saved his job for 2 months. And then we lost 7 in a row again. And then the Leicester Cup game saved him his job as well, really. But then lost 7 straight defeats. Do you think if you win Saturday, you'll be buzzing? But do you think it'll be kind of cracks over paper until the inevitable does happen later on?
Don't forget, Dore, you've got an international break coming up as well, where you can have a chance to work with some of those players that you may not have had a chance to work with yet. So the international break could actually be a blessing in disguise for you, where you can actually get a chance to work with them and figure out what's going wrong.
Like the question about what Ben said about, I want Lamucci to stay, because what he'd done last season before the lockdown, he was fantastic. He was fantastic, and I want him to stay.
Dore, you were calling for his head not long ago.
Get lost.
Right.
Dore, last week you were moaning things like...
Dore, you're up and down like a prostitute's knickers. Christ almighty. 1 minute he's in, 1 minute he's out.
Oh, you don't do yourself no favours, mate.
Ben asked me a question. What did Ben say?
Yes, he said if you win, will you want him to stay? But
right. So wait,
will that paper over the cracks?
So answer his question. So just saying, if Forrest win, I want Lamucci to stay because of what happened before the lockdown.
So Dore, right? If he wins one game, you want him to stay. If he loses it, he's got to go. I don't understand that.
Yes. Just quickly, we'll move on to off this to Josh Lane saying, what happened with the Newcastle takeover? It's a question.
Oh, just opening another can of worms here.
It's called the Mike Ashley PR bus, and it happens every transfer window in January.
We're going from
There'll be enough one in Christmas time. Don't you worry about that. Then March, then the summer, and then back.
It's a January sales tactic for Sports Direct.
Yeah, let's be honest. They're still in the court case at the minute. They're the club in the Premier League, so we don't know what's going on.
Do Newcastle fans boycott Sports Direct?
Yeah, I think a lot of them do, but let's be honest, it's Sports Direct's one of them where anyone can go. So if you're a Liverpool fan or a Fleetwood fan or Manchester, it doesn't make a difference really. Just because they boycott Newcastle doesn't mean they won't go to the ones.
Yeah, you boycott the store there, do you?
It's one of those things
I haven't been since they got rid of Shearer and Keegan.
To be fair, my mate's a Newcastle fan. He said it's really weird that we're owned by someone who'll sell our rival shirts in his shop and make money that way.
Oh yeah. I've been in the club shop and they're selling Barcelona shirts and all sorts of Man United shirts. Make what you do.
Selling Sunderland
in the Newcastle club shop.
No, they don't sell Sunderland, but they've definitely sold that. A couple of Man United like pants and whatnot going on. I'm like, this is a Newcastle shop. It's not. The identity's just not there.
It should just be Newcastle. You know,
while he's still here, there's no identity, so that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad. Liam Barnett saying Rangers fans love Mike Ashley. Is this right?
He's a Spurs fan.
Sarcasm. Complete sarcasm.
He's actually a Spurs fan. I mean, you could see him yesterday rubbing his hands, and after that one draw because he wants to stay in the Premier League. He wants the big bucks.
Yeah.
When Spurs were at Wembley, I know they sold a lot of England tops because I think they're both sponsored by Nike. And that was part of the deal with them playing at Wembley. So I know they saw, but England is kind of like different. But to sell like United stuff in your own club shop, I mean,
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Honestly, it is. It's nobody really goes in. Like a lot of people when they buy the shirt. I go to Star Fitness. I don't know if you heard of Star Fitness.
Yeah,
that's where I go. I go there or DW or it was DW. In JD, I can't put a penny into his place, unfortunately.
No. Well, I can understand that.
Don't get us wrong. I love the football club. I'll always go and support them. People say, "Oh, you put money in his pocket," but I love Newcastle United. I live for a Saturday and live for a midweek game. But I can't.
It's one of those things where if you can stop putting money into his pocket via his clubs, his shops, you will. But then if you've got to remember the club is so well supported worldwide as well. There's so many fans that'll buy anything like regarding Newcastle. That's a thing. Just because a few do it, if everyone does it, there's no winning really. Do you know where I'm coming from? Yeah. It's a hard one, that one.
Dore, what's Jordan Gabriel like? Do you know? Does that ring a bell with you? James Longbottom was asking.
He started the first 2 games for us in the Cup and League. He's a good player. He's a really good player, but I think Forrest will be keeping him. He won't be going.
Where's he from? Where's he from, Dore?
Jordan Gabriel. He's a Forrest right back.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's Portuguese because Wolves will be sending him next.
No, he's right back in English. He won't be going. He'll be more of a backup to Christie. So he's staying first.
This is a question for everybody. Who is winning the Scottish Premier League? Celtic or Rangers? He's a Celtic fan. He's football prime ginger, but
Rangers.
Motherwell.
Hey!
Oh no!
We'll go. I'll go Motherwell.
No.
I think Rangers could win it this season.
Yeah, Rangers.
I'll give you my answer because I'm a Scottish football fan, right?
Yes.
From all the football I've watched this season, Rangers are the best football side in the league. They're scoring 3s and 4s every week, whereas Celtic are only scoring 1s and 2s. But the thing is, Rangers always have a spell every season where they bottle it and they go on a bad run of form. And Celtic have the consistency to maintain a title-winning season. They've got the players to do it. They've done it many times before. I mean, they're on their 10 in a row season for a reason. But I think it's going to be Celtic. I think Celtic will just pip them, but it'll be next season where Rangers win it.
I think Hamilton might have something to say about that.
I think Gerrard will be like, well, of course, it's only 8.5 in a row.
Can we have that again, Ben? That was an amazing impersonation of Gerrard.
I'll also say for free, if it wasn't Steven Gerrard, the current manager of Rangers, he wouldn't be the Rangers manager by now. because
he's got to deliver this season. If he doesn't, I think he's sacked. That sounds harsh, but that's Rangers Football Club for you. He's got to deliver now this season. There's
They
no
won't
excuses.
sack him.
No, I think Rangers remind me a bit like Leeds United, whereas they always start well, they always press intensely and score goals, and then kind of that bottle period, then there's too much ground to make up. Whereas City a few years ago, I think Liverpool, when they finished on 98 points and they missed out, they were winning 3s and 4s, where City kind of at times were winning 1s and 2s, like you've just mentioned. And then last year, we saw a different side to Liverpool, where at 1-0, they were winning 2-1. However way they could get 3 points, they were getting it. And they were making sure they kept the back door shut. It wasn't pretty at sometimes with Liverpool, but as long as they won, they got points. And I think, like you said, I just think Celtic will win it again. I can't see past it. I think, but it's always going to be, it's going to be close, and Celtic will run away with it by about 57 points. So, if anything was down to Dore, I think Gerrard would be sacked after one game, one loss, and that'd be like someone like Barcelona. No, not good enough. He's got to go.
I'm not biting.
No,
not fighting.
Who's winning League One by what you've seen? Sorry, lads. I thought I'd put you on the spot.
Well, Ipswich have started off on a flyer, but to be honest, they haven't really played anybody. You know, I mean, they played Wigan, I suppose. You know, they were in a bit of disarray. They've just beat Rochdale, who just look like the kicking boys of the division. So I don't know, but
we struggle against Rochdale, man. We struggle against them.
Ipswich or Sunderland for me this year, and I don't care who you play, you've got to beat what's put in front of you. And you can say, if you were top of the league with 9 points, right? Look who you've played. You played.
I'd be happy.
Newly promoted.
We played nobody. Terrible.
But again, you can only play what's put in front of you. Fleetwood have been poor. We played one of the best sides in the division. We beat Burton and we were poor on Saturday. But I look at the winners. I look at Sunderland. They've got that determination, and a 1-0 win over Peterborough Saturday was a good result for them. I think it's got to be between Sunderland. I think Peterborough could have a go. I think Portsmouth may.
I think Portsmouth will struggle, mate. I struggle for Kenny Jagger.
They want Jacket out. They don't want to pay the 400. They don't want him in charge, but they don't want to pay the 400k to sack him. So I think while that goes on, they're in a massive disarray. I don't think Blackpool are good enough. I don't think Charlton are good enough.
Lee.
I don't think Fleetwood are good
I'm
enough.
agreeing with you at the moment. It's back to reality for us, boys. Garbage.
I think Fleetwood and Blackpool at the moment are a few away, and we'll be lucky to get top 10 if we carry on our form.
I was really disappointed.
Hull's done so far.
Hull, yeah.
Hull will go back up, I think. Hull will go straight back up.
Hull are winning in a different way, where they're keeping clean sheets and they're getting an early goal. I don't think they've conceded a goal yet. I think we're one of the only sides in the League One.
No, they haven't.
5 goals.
They've won 1-0, 2-0.
Hey, well, mate, I think Doncaster have got a shout this season.
I was going to say them, but I think Doncaster could maybe scrape into the playoffs. I think squad depth there could be an issue, but you look at Port, you look at your likes of. I think Plymouth will have a good season.
I was going to say what Plymouth like this season.
I think so far. Lincoln will be up there. Lincoln again. Nobody's talking about them.
Well, we've got them on Saturday, so we'll see. We've got them, playing Lincoln at home on Saturday. So I mean, they're playing very well, aren't they?
I've not even looked at the table.
Yeah, you can't really decide until Christmas. No, it's early days yet, but we are a little bit disappointed in what we've seen so far with the teams we've been beaten by. Really, who are not going to be challenging for. I can't see either of those, Plymouth or Gillingham, challenging. They won't be top 6.
Can I just say something about Blackpool?
Go on, mate.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, no, I was just about to say something quick about Blackpool. Like, I think it's like anything. If you sign a lot of players, they've all got a gel. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got a new manager in it. It's all new for you. So, like, I think it's going to take a bit of time. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, well, there is that. I totally agree with you. We have signed quite a lot, but we haven't signed anybody who you go, wow, we just signed him. You know what I mean? You don't know any of them. And,
well, that's it. The thing is, they've got a gel with where your league of the expectations.
Lee, to be fair, when you signed Jerry Yates, out of 12 signings, I knew, I think 11 of them, I'll be honest.
Did you? Well, you would.
Yeah, no,
you would. You know everybody. I mean, you know every player in the bloody almanac on players. I never heard of any of them.
You say about Gillingham, right? say about Gillingham, they won't go up the this, to that. At the end of the day, it's not about nice football in League One. It's there where you can edit, kick it, and score it.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
right. And Wimbledon did a job on us. Shrewsbury nearly finished in the playoffs a few years ago. I think they won 21 games that season. 19 of those 21 games, they won by 1 goal. So again, I'm not having that you have to score 4 or 5 a game to go. Yeah. You see a good defence, a good platform, get a goal, and be able to.
Well, look at Wigan. Look at Wigan.
Exactly. Yeah. Wigan did it. Fleetwood did it.
I know you complain about the financial fair play and whatnot, but what are the points per game? But they got there on merit.
No, I didn't moan. They were there on merit and fair play. So when they whacked us in the playoffs and they played so well. But
boring Arsenal done it many years.
Yeah, exactly. So all you need to do is get 1 goal, defend it, and I honestly believe Gillingham could get in the playoffs. Steve Evans is a good manager. He knows what he's doing in this league. His football isn't attractive. Let's be honest. However,
but most clubs that go up from League One, the football isn't attractive.
No, it isn't.
Are we liking this guy? Gurney's saying Ben's too clever for the show here. Blooming heck, he's putting us all down here, Gurney. What's this? I'll pull that up again. Should we all gang up on Gurney saying Ben's too clever for the show?
Well, to be fair, Gurney said, I logged on and I wanted a piece of it. I was fuming. Gurney went, that little Fleetwood kid will be crying his eyes out. I was like, Gurney, mate, it's not my crying. I was having a full-on meltdown when he scored those 2 goals.
Tell you what, mate, there was a club who you should watch out for, and I remember playing them in the Championship. It was is it the Burton Albion? They're normally like one of them clubs that you don't know about. They might do good one season, and they might be mid-table. They're normally one of them sides that you just don't know about. Yeah, could do something.
I think we've all got a vast variety of football knowledge, but it's just hard to get a word in when Ben starts waffling. I'm just going to say that,
How is Bonner looking? Actually, I forgot to ask you about for the new season. You got some players in and stuff.
Who are you
talking to me, Shargy? Sorry, mate.
Yeah. I was just asking you about Bonner because I know you were saying you didn't have any players. Have you got players in the door now for the new season?
I think we signed 6, but they're all shit. So yeah, we're fine, mate.
Don't play the P-Lady in net.
So basically, us 7 here, get your boat. We're cracking on the phone on it now, lads. All right, is what I'm saying. Okay,
Matt, just
go on, mate.
We'll give you some players for free.
Yeah, I'll happily get you Rolando Aarons. You can have Saive. You can have whoever you want.
Rolando Aarons back, Jordan.
We'll take it back now.
Honestly, Rolando Aarons.
Please help us. Help the poor. Help us. Come on.
But they're not going to get a game, so they're free to new clubs. Get rid of them.
If the chairman liked me and I was on talking terms with him, then maybe there could be a deal struck.
Why? What's going on? Why do you not get on with your chairman? What's the matter?
Well, I actually have nothing against him. A lot of our fans don't particularly like him, but just because of obviously what I do, and I just generally piss everyone off. No one really likes me at the club, mate.
Do your own thing. If you give them a good name, there you go and promote Barnet. Do it.
Give Barnet a good name.
No, if you're doing what your YouTube and whatnot, if that's what it is, then you do your thing.
Well, I'm trying, mate, but I just come across as pretty much the Antichrist.
What's this? It's okay, Loudmouth. Gogsy scored a couple of crackers for the Scottish YouTube team. Well, tell us a bit about this then. Is this fact?
Yeah, well, we've got a collective of creators.
Like hashtag United, is this?
No. We're just like a bunch of YouTubers. We come together every so often. We train for a charity match. We've had 2 charity matches. We've raised nearly £10,000 for the Scottish Association of Mental Health.
Wow!
Over the 2 games, we lost 4-3 against Falkirk Coaches, and we beat Sterrismuir over 35s 5-1.
Wow!
Yeah,
very good. That's great, and you've raised that much, 10 grand, have you, for that? So that's incredible.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So when's the next one?
I had
the next one
of that.
The next one, it just depends when we're actually allowed to have a proper event, because we don't want to play in front of an empty stadium, streaming it onto YouTube.
I just think it's crap. Honestly, you see in the Premier League, it's just crap. Like no fans.
Yeah, we'd very much rather just have as many fans in the ground as possible. Like we've played in front of like 500 people, which is absolutely fantastic. As a Sunday League footballer myself, that's something I dream of. So,
when you play Fort William,
I think they're a few levels above us, even for Fort William.
You smash them. Everyone else does.
Aye, yeah, you're right.
Gogsy, when am I coming on your channel then?
What's that, Dore?
When am I coming on your channel?
Whenever you want, mate. Whenever you want. Everyone, mate.
Yeah, I'll come on your channel.
Aye.
Grogsy, if he does come on your channel and all of a sudden you start losing subscribers and getting disliked, I'm just saying there might be a little correlation there. But
what are you saying?
What are you saying?
Dore's popular. Dore
I know
is...
you're joking. And his interview
was a great lad. I thought we'd have a
Gogsy, just make sure you get him to sign a disclaimer that he doesn't eat anything during the live session, all right?
All right. That's so.
Which was the one that Ben was going on about where you and your mate were eating pies or something? Who was that mate of yours? Was he eating pie on the stream? What was that all about?
He went to go get his twirl and his mate was eating a big sandwich and then he'd eat and then he was on his phone and I'm like, Dore, I'm here. Hello. And I'm like, and then he looked at it and then he went. and I'm like, am I watching MasterChef here or am I watching kind of like a mukbang or something?
There was some bloke eating a pie at one stage or something, and it was like just sat there eating a pie, nothing else.
It wasn't the Sutton United goalkeeper, was it?
Yes, it was. He was paid by fucking pie, wasn't he?
I can't even understand this, Gogsy. It's
he's basically
get
trying
off
to
my roof. Get off my roof is your team.
He's got confused my five-a-side team with the YouTube team. Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's a lot of reference to my content.
Right, okay. Yeah. It's an in-joke that we're not understanding.
Yeah.
Right.
How do we reckon we're all going to do it weekend then?
I reckon we're going to go on the weekend. Well, yep. I've got to go for a home win. I mean, we played really well at home. We just don't seem to be able to play away from home. So we've got Lincoln City, which is going to be tough because they're playing really well. So I'm going for a home win to Blackpool.
Listen, I just want a goal. That's all I want.
Oh, we are singing.
That's what
a go.
We've got to get past. We've got to get past Newport first. That's a big test in itself.
Yeah,
is it?
And then we've got a few days later. Then we've got to play Burnley. I mean, we can't be Burnley. Then I'm sorry. There's something with Steve Bruce that's not quite adding up, and it's the football.
He did all right when he was with us.
It's the football for me. The players just don't seem interested.
Yeah.
Hey, Gogsy, if Newcastle lose to Newport, are we getting Mark on?
Oh yeah, get Mark.
Oh yeah.
Lisa wants a wave. There we go. Well, we could have given us some stick actually, couldn't we? For the.
I'm not gonna underestimate them.
Can I say something?
Hi, Lisa.
Should we bring her on for some sticks? She got absolutely battered.
Wait. Can I say something? Lisa, we beat the Dove women yesterday, so.
Tell you what, mate, Derby are another one who are having a bit of a bad start of the season, aren't they? Yeah.
She's singing "Score in a Brothel." We couldn't score in a brothel. Should we bring her in because she's no, she got absolutely she's got troubles. You can give her some real stick. They were terrible, Derby, weren't they? There was a score for Derby. They were battered.
Blackburn was it Blackburn? Blackburn looked really good, mate. Yeah, Armour's doing really well. I'm glad he's doing well for Blackburn. Ex-Toon lad.
Don't bring her on. She talk nonsense.
George is okay. James, he's up and stable, so that's good.
Oh, yeah. Is this the family that got run over?
So what happened was he's up. He's eating now, and obviously I think he's still in hospital, a bit confused, but he's eating fine, and he's getting a lot better. So it's great. It's great to see, really.
Have you seen him? Have you been to see him?
I've not seen him because we've not been allowed, but great lad, and I'm just glad he's getting through, and he'll be next year. He'll still be on the pole at Fleetwood, getting the atmosphere going. I know Blackpool fans will go, what atmosphere? What atmosphere? No.
Yeah, exactly. What atmosphere?
Lee, can I ask you about the lockdown? I know I don't know if you've spoken about it. Correct us if I'm wrong, but like the 6 month now, there's no football for a longer time. They say March. I think the season's a write-off completely, in my opinion.
It's just unbelievable. I mentioned before, you can go to Asda And you can have, I don't know, you're walking down aisles, there's 500 people in Asda, they're passing you, trying to get past you to get a thing of ham while you're looking at them, and everybody's barging around, aren't they? And it's so tight in there, they're just letting people go in supermarkets, but you can't sit in a 16,000 stadium with 1,000 people. It doesn't make any sense to me. And
I think the whole rules are wrong, in my opinion. They're just something's messed up.
I mean, you're in the open air, aren't you? I mean, we Blackpool were one of the lucky ones to have 1,000 fans in, and there was like one person on a row, and more than that, or one person in a whole section of a stand. You know what I mean? It's just there was so much room, you couldn't possibly caught anything, and yet.
Lee, can I just say something about going to the games as well? I think all fans should be allowed to go back. I think you go at your own risk. I really do. I think you go at your own risk because you got to remember. I was watching the EFL show the other day. Colin Murray and Simon Grayson was on, and they said, these clubs have got like 2 weeks to survive, and that's pretty scary if you're an EFL club.
It is. Yeah. I mean, they're talking. I don't know. I read some post somewhere where they were saying there's about 4. It could be over 10 clubs are on the brink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On the brink.
Yeah.
Really could go.
Football is people's lives. You can't just like lock people away from something they enjoy, but yet people can go on planes and go to pubs, bars, you name it.
Well, George saying you can go and sit in a pub until 10 o'clock, but you can't go outside.
It could turn into that whole thing where they've been talking about it for years, that there's finally going to be like a Premiership 2, just to try and support one up, which is sad, really, because it's that whole stupid thing. You can go for a drink and you're going to be back by 10. Surely you can go for watch your game and it's at your risk.
It's ridiculous.
I don't understand about that rule at 10 o'clock because people are going to come out the pubs at the same time.
Yeah.
But to be fair, right, let's be honest, right? It's like saying Lee, Grogsy, Toon Army TV, Dore, Matt, and then Punk Chef is the seventh one. He's up the virus. You know what I mean? It's like, why is it always the seventh one? Why 6? And why leave it at 10 o'clock? I don't know if you saw John Bishop's video. He got some wine. He goes, "This is how you should test stuff. Have a sip. Is your taste buds there? Oh, it's there. Have another test." Then he says, "I must have had about 55 of these yesterday."
Honestly, you know what it is though? I don't know how these clubs are going to survive like another 6 months with no fans going in. Like, I can understand our club. Like, we've got Premier League money, but if you look at the Championship, League One, League Two, EFL, Vanarama, whatever, how are these clubs going to survive? Like, how?
Turn around and say that the iFollow money that clubs are getting, which is about 70% go to the club they meant to support them, that's not enough. Not everyone's going to pay a tenner to watch that because they just don't want to. Some fans just want to be in the stadium.
It's not the same, is it? It's just not the same. It's not the same experience. Watching on iFollow, it is garbage. I mean, it's just garbage. I mean, it's not even a very good. It's not even like good.
No, doesn't it cut out quite a lot as well?
Yeah, it's absolute garbage. I mean, all the old people. I mean, what old people are watching this on computers and all this?
iFollow with crap player. It used to be called the Player, I think, and that used to be 10 times better. And this iFollow thing is useless. And it's like the stupid thing, like people are watching it, people are spending the money and watching it. But like, what gets me is that
it's not worth a tenner.
EFL haven't cottoned on. One person buys it, and then he'll stream it on Facebook for all his mates to watch. Then you've lost all that money.
Yeah, it's just something's not right. Like the EFL, they're charging for the Carabao Cup games like £10. Yeah. I can get the games on anyway, right? But it's a case of like, we've got a game on Sky for Newport because they're the lowest ranked club, but I just don't get how they've got the cheek to charge someone £10 for that ticket. Yeah, I get it, like £10 if you can go to the game, because Carabao Cup games are normally that price. Yeah. But it's not the same watching it in the house. Like, if you watch it in the house, you shouldn't be charging you £10 for that.
No, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And it's going to fall flat on its face because people are going to not bother watching it, are they? Because it's not worth 10 quid.
Definitely not.
It's a poor product. It's a very poor product. And if they want big money for it, you've got one camera angle. Right, you got one camera angle, haven't you? You got the one camera in the middle, and so they've got no other cameras behind the nets anywhere else. It's just one crappy camera angle.
Yeah,
it's garbage.
I think
it's absolute crap.
The one game we watched, and the cameraman was just shaking the entire game. And just
Andy Holt said
there was a hand coming across the screen on ours where he was wiping stuff off the screen like that. You're thinking, what there?
Andy Holt
is going on?
He said. When they say they play Sunderland or Blackpool or when they play Bolton, and those who will fill out the away and bring 2,000 fans, it'd make nearly about 60,000 quid. You know what I mean? From just the away end, from beer sales, from food sales.
Yeah, of course.
He's not getting any of it. I think he gets 500 of the away support, maybe.
It was something stupid that
the first 500 go to the home club or something like that.
It was something stupid that I read that the Premiership had 200 million to give to the 72 EFL clubs. That worked out about 2.5 million for each team. That was it.
Yeah.
That was all they were willing to give.
Just the Premier League have shown their true colours.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's going to be to the detriment of. I mean, somebody here saying, Michael Egg saying 70% of League 1 and 2 clubs will go to the wall should the government and Premiership.
That's what I'm saying. Like you've got literally, you've got
League
weeks.
1 and 2 clubs.
Yeah,
unless you're a go on. No,
that's why you'll get Premiership 2. It'll go. You won't have Championship. It'll just be Premiership 1 and Premiership.
In these bad times, it needs to be filtered through. I'm sorry, there's just no need. Like, I mean, they were even saying last week, because we were playing Morecambe, and there's a lot of these AFL clubs, that can't afford testing. Apparently, our club weren't even going to pay for Morecambe's testing. Like, I don't get it. But yet Steve Bruce complains, right, that we're going to be in for a risk because our players are all protected and whatnot. And we're going to Morecambe. Well, I'm sorry, but we should have the decency to actually give them money to get the game going.
Spurs did Orient. Spurs paid for Orient's testing, and obviously, good job they did.
Hull had it against West Ham. West Ham, I think it was the manager and 2 other players positive, and then they just said the game's going to continue, and they just sent them home. And my mate, who was a Hull fan, he said it's ridiculous. So what happens if all our players now get it? We now
honestly, I fear for all your clubs. Like, honestly, like if it continues, you need to get back in as soon as possible. Just hearing that news over the weekend, if I was one of your clubs, I'd be very concerned.
Oh yeah, I think every chairman down the country is like, what the heck?
I just don't get how the government are allowing like football fans not to go back. Like, it's been 6 months now, and if you do another 6 months, a year's worth of revenue lost. That's a lot of money. A lot of money.
It's incredible. It's
ridiculous.
Money and
I'm still confused about Newcastle not paying for Morecambe's thing, because even in Scotland we've got Ross County paying for the testing for Brora Rangers and Elgin City in the Betfred Cup.
You do know, mate. It's a Newcastle thing to do.
Yeah, it's just it seems a shame. I mean, there was that game. Was it last year where Tottenham played Rochdale and they actually bought them a pitch? They laid on the pitch, didn't they, because of the pitch? Because it wasn't good enough. And surely, I mean, even the non-league as well. They all need help. I mean, that's why we've been doing the non-league videos to try and help and get a few fans in, because obviously they're struggling. Really bad down there. The beer sales and all those sort of things that they just, they can't.
I understand what this person's saying, that they're not a charity, but without fans, they don't exist.
Yes, exactly.
We're not saying that.
Do you know what I feel sorry for?
Work.
Do you know those non-league clubs when you were getting 300 fans and they said, actually, we're going back to 150? Imagine how much that's going to hurt a non-league side who would think, you know what, we're getting 300 fans in. We'll look like we're getting something back. And then last week, they're like, oh, no, we're going back to 150. Or that there's revenue gone again. Do you know what I mean? Like make your mind up.
They're knackered, aren't they? It's just it's ridiculous.
Messed up.
It is. It's the money just they just need help, don't they? All the football clubs do. But having said that, football's crazy for me. They all football clubs run at this just ridiculous amount of they're paying so much for players and wages and all that. So a lot of the problems they do bring on themselves because the money they pay, it doesn't cover it even when they have got money. So nobody's got a war chest of money, have they, to survive anything? Because they're all run on a shoestring.
How many clubs could just go in your league if it happens?
In my league, I'd say probably about 90% of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pretty much all of them.
I mean, I'm lucky enough to know that even though my chairman, not a lot of people like him or respect what he does, I know we'll never go bust with him as in charge. So in a way, I'm confident we will be safe, to an extent. But a good 90% of clubs will potentially could go out of business.
Well, look at Macclesfield and I look at Southend. I think Southend are on the brink as well.
Southend are about to have a winding up all in.
They're on the brink. I don't know if it's that related, but you do worry about these clubs.
It's already happened to, plenty of clubs in the previous past, Bury, Russian and Diamonds, Scarborough. It's
also, remember when they brought in the financial fair play? They were meant to stop clubs going bust, and it actually made more clubs go bust.
That's broken.
Yeah,
that's completely broken.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, obviously, nobody saw this, this coming when they decided all these rules. But something's got to be done very quickly. I mean, Gurney's come back. He said they may contribute, but who is to say what the exact split between government aid and Premier League contribution should be? But you just think of the money that's awashing. Well, but is it awash in the Premier League? I was reading a book and they say there's only the top 6 clubs in the Premier League actually make money. The rest don't.
No, I'm sure Newcastle make a fortune. When I was reading it, I don't know if it was true or not, but when they were saying they weren't going to help Morecambe, I think that's just ridiculous. Like there should be aid there for the clubs, especially to get a game on like the Carabao Cup, because it could have. I know we're beating 7-0, but listen, there could have been an upset. Do you know what I mean? Like they were dying to get that game on. Bit of money for them.
Yeah.
The government are going to have to do something because you can't let it go on.
It's just very uncertain, situation for everyone at the moment. Football clubs, us with our work and everything. No one knows what's going to happen 6 months down the line.
No. Like, I don't know if you saw it, Matt. Like, which is good for like your level. BT have actually chosen, I think, the next 24 or 26 matches, and all clubs are televised at least once. So that is good money coming into the club. I know it's not a lot, but like Fleetwood got chose for Sky the other day, and I'm not sure how much you get for Sky. I think it's in the region of about 150,000, what I've heard, but I'm not sure. Again, it's good of BT to do that, but again, you filter down the lower leagues in League One, League Two, National League North, National League South. They do need help, and I don't know if you saw the filed statement. One of the players was on 950, one of their highest earners, and he wasn't happy about it, and he couldn't cope on 700 quid a week. And then the chairman has publicised his wages, and there's been a heated debate over that. And it's like he's actually offered him jobs making dog food in his factory. So it's a weird one, really. But what do you think about that, Matt? Like BT showing one of like each club.
Well, anything that can help any club right now. Look, let's be honest. BT have got a couple of quid, haven't they? And showing clubs of lower league football just to help give them something so they can stay afloat for another month or 2 or 6. It's going to be a good thing because there's a lot of clubs out there that are going to need a lot of help. And if they can't secure a bank loan because they can't revenue it to pay it back, then there is, like we've already said, there's going to be a lot of clubs being wound up. And it's a shame because we all love football. We've all grown up watching it. It's our life. There's going to be fans out there who are going to be like, I don't know, my club's gone.
These people who volunteer at these non-league clubs, it's amazing what they do. They volunteer in that, and if they lose the clubs, for mental health and everything, it's not going to be good
for people's lives at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even, it's people, it's everything to them. And it's just a little non-league club, but their passion for, these little clubs is just as big as ours. And, if they're going to lose these clubs, it's sad. It's really sad. And I don't know what the answer is, but I know there's definitely money there and it should be.
Where I am, we had it that the club got it pitch and its goalpost vandalised and he needed 10 grand or they weren't going to start the season. So they had to set up a GoFundMe just to get it going so they could start the season. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Right, we're coming up to 2 minutes to go. So any last questions from anybody out there? I think we've kind of covered everything.
Who do you think will win your league, Matt?
Tim Cogsy on.
Thank you very much. Big thank you to Scottish football being represented. And
thanks for having me, Trips. I've really enjoyed tonight.
No worries.
Yeah, we'll try and
call us. We'll call you, mate. Yeah.
If you want to be on again, obviously. But if you want to be on again, obviously, we'll try and get a few more people knowing that you're on, and we get a few more, obviously, Scottish questions in for you. But it's been interesting. Joke of the night to Gogsy as well, without a doubt. It made me all laugh with
Thank you.
With all the silhouettes leaving at half time, we'll never forget it. It was a brilliant joke, and brilliant for you raising all that money for charity as well. I think that's fantastic with the YouTube. What's this? Just quick. Liam Barnett's quickly saying there's a similar situation in Scotland with the testing for Betfred Cup matches regarding lower league clubs. I think you touched on that, didn't you?
Yeah, that's
right. I think.
Lee, thanks for having us on late as well. I know I popped in. It's a ridiculous time.
It doesn't matter really because because we had Dapper in and he could only stay in till just gone 8 o'clock. So obviously there's always a spot to come in, so it's all right.
It's always good to have you on, Sharky.
I like a bit of in and out.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Spot on.
I don't mind a bit of rotation on the show because it gives us something else to talk about. And obviously you coming on about VAR, spurred a conversation.
Do you know what though? I like to be honest. Like I say, if we're winning, we're playing well, I'll say great. But if we don't play well and we don't deserve it, I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, that's all we can ask. I mean, I'm the same. I've slagged Blackpool off tonight. I just thought we were just very poor.
Do you know what though? Do you know what? You know what? Fleetwood and Blackpool, you'll turn it around. Early days, that I always say that things can change very quickly.
Yeah. Right. Well, thanks everyone for watching.
Cheers,
who joined in. It's been a pleasure having your questions and your banter and everything with us. Hope you enjoy the show. If you're watching this on the rerun, give it a like. Give it a like if you're watching it as well because it helps. It helps people. It helps YouTube see that people are actually liking this sort of thing. And thanks to all my guests.
Thank you
to Punk Chef. Thank you to Gogsy, Ben, to Sharky, to the other Ben, and to Matt. Thank you very much all for joining in. And we'll catch you next week if you want to come on. Thank you.
Up the Forest.
I'll just get to my. Sorry, I need an outro. So I can't get rid of you. You're all still here.
We're still live.
We're still live. Thank you very much. Bye.